One statement. I know you're going to give me two again. Seller.
I
Good advice for the seller in today's market.
can't do it short.
It's okay. It's a good advice for the seller in today's market.
Seller in today's market, you have more competition right now. So you need to have, it's harder for your home to stand out. So leaving things undone, like not having it, nicely presented with decluttering and picked up, and maybe you need to put some fresh paint on it. Maybe you can tell the pool really needs a repair, and that's going to give buyers hesitation. Anything that can give the buyer a hesitation, if you're a seller, it's better to get ahead of that.
Yeah. Take away any hesitation.
Yes, because the sellers often say, oh, the buyer will just come in and replace the carpet anyway. I don't want to pick because I don't know what they'd like.
Yeah.
And we hear that a lot. But if you pick a nice neutral carpet, usually a buyer's like, oh, that's nice. The carpet's already done. And for the buyer, let's say it's a first-time home buyer family coming in and they've saved up a lot for down payment. And then they're going to feel like they have to come up with that much more up front for the carpet, where they could just buy the house down the road that already did the carpet.
Yeah.
Now it's built into the loan. It's easy. It's simple. It's just move in ready, right? What did every buyer say to us? They say, I want move in ready.
Absolutely.
And so I think sellers making their properties move in ready is the top advice. And it's important in the market for them now more than ever.
I think I would also add, and mine might turn into two or three here, but I would add pricing matters more than ever. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is just because you have a number in your head that you want to sell for, doesn't mean that's what's going to get it done. We always say pricing is an invitation to come view the property. And buyers in a market like we've already said, where they have a lot more options, they have a lot more choices, that invitation needs to be attractive. It can't be just, if you get a wedding invite on a yellow sticky note that gets mailed to you, you might not go to that wedding. But if it comes in like a leather-bound envelope talking about what it is, you're going to be more likely to be like, that sounds like a fun wedding. I'm going. That's a cool invitation. And I think the same thing holds true on price. And we sit down with sellers every week and we see some things play out. We've seen before where sellers who are aspirational, where maybe the nearest comp, same house, is 10% below. They think they could sell their home, say $500,000. Like, I want to sell for $500,000, even though the neighbor down the street with the same house just sold for $450,000. We come with hard truth, hard data, hard numbers, and say that's just not going to work, and you're going to do yourself a disservice. To which they say, my cousin's barber's vet also has his real estate license and said that he'll sell it for $500,000. And we see this play out. I know it sounds funny and ludicrous, but we see it play out where they then go to market with cousin's barber's vet. And then because their home sits and they stigmatize the property, they end up selling for even less than what we suggested at the beginning, because now their home's been on the market for 200 days and they haven't showcased it right. So I think pricing right, not just looking at whatever online algorithm.
Well, I think an important point to explain is, I think sellers, and I understand the thinking. If I weren't in the business, it's like, well, why not try, right? Like, what's the harm? I could just price it here. They feel like I can always come down, but I can't come up, right? Those are like common phrases we hear all the time. And I think what sellers don't realize is you literally can sell for less because you price too high. And we've seen it play out. And that's what's weird and kind of backwards thinking. But we've had sellers where we'd say, here's the recommended price range. And they go, I still want to try this, And we go for it with them. And meanwhile, they just make the other homes look better and those sell. And then they have to inch down, or they'll pass over, offer in this range at the start. And then over time, we never get back to that offer. And then buyers are like, well, they've been on so long, I'm going to keep going lower. What's wrong with the property? And then we're kind of backtracking a little. And we just have a lot of experience to see that there is a fine line there that you can actually hurt your final amount
for sure
when you go too far out of range, because buyers don't come look, or they think, are they really serious? Or they're really picky on everything they're looking at it because they feel like for that price. So it can work against you, unfortunately.
Yeah.